Good evening, everyone. It's always hard to have the opening presentation in the session, especially when, with a session named E-Agriculture, a Budding Reality. I mean, we've had the E in agriculture now for a very long time. And in fact, in the previous session, we had talk of whether it should be E-Agriculture or M-Agriculture, and whether we should start moving towards M, given that there are infrastructural constraints, power constraints, etc., and E. Well, I will talk about a platform or an open knowledge space, if you will, which we have called Agropedia. Now, Agropedia is a project which was conceived, the beginnings of it was almost around 2006, is when we started thinking about this. This was a team of researchers at IIT Kanpur. And we thought that it was high time that we contributed to agriculture. And the way we felt a good contribution to agriculture could be made was through what we called Agropedia, which was an open knowledge space. Why did we do it? Well, we said that if India is predominantly a rural country, then it is time to introduce semantic and social networking technologies to this large base. If we talk inclusive growth, well, let's include them in the semantic web revolution. Let's include them in the Web 2.0 revolution. Why include them? Why get into this business at all? Well, agriculture, and I need not talk about it, is plagued with problems, and we've discussed this at length all through the day. We have a session on climate change as well, talking about, not only the drought scenario of today, but even over the last couple of years, we have clearly seen food prices going up. Not only in India, but globally, we have a crisis at hand. In India, the population explosion, if you will, is something which has generated tremendous pressure on land for alternate uses. The Green Revolution has played its role. It's over. If we need a new revolution, we have to think of a way to get it. Most importantly, the next generation is unwilling to take up farming. I quote from a previous presentation. Many of the farmers were even PhDs. Surprise, surprise, why not? If you are a doctorate in agriculture, then the very first thing you should do is go and you have a large farm of your own, then it makes sense to go farm. But it is not cool. Farming is just not a cool business. I was commenting to some of my friends here that you do not see very many young people at the e-agriculture sessions. You do not have the students here. It's not cool to go to a conference on agriculture. So what can we do to make agriculture cool? At the same time, the demand side of it is, of course, that as our levels of income has gone up, there is an increased demand for food, an increased demand for better quality crop. And while we are debating about this in this forum, in general, there is not much public awareness about this huge crisis that agriculture is going through. We have in place, of course, a very effective or something which on paper is a very effective extension system to have a perfect information dissemination system in agriculture from the lab to the land. Unfortunately, as has been discussed, this system has been rendered ineffective of late. So we said, can we introduce semantic and social networking technologies so as to create a new model, a new powerful dynamic model to enable information flows? So that's why we got into this, and this is what the slogan, if you will, for Agropedia is. It is an agricultural knowledge repository of universal meta models and localized content for a variety of users with appropriate interfaces, built in collaborative mode in multiple languages. I need to take a breath. Okay. What are we trying to do? Time and time again, all through the sessions we've been hearing, information is available. It's just not being given to the people. It's not going to the right person at the right time. We need specific time-bound and location-specific information in small modules. right? Now, Agropedia is an effort to do just that. To say, if there is information available, how can I make it person specific? How can I make it location specific? And in order to do that, we have involved the community in the content creation process. We believe that it is finally the people who are going to be able to generate the right kind of information at the right time and with the right amount of specificity. Put in simple terms then, Agropedia is a library. It's a content repository where you can find, we hope, this is our vision, everything related to agriculture. In order to do this, we have a semantic web application running in the background. More importantly, to make agriculture cool. This is a social engineering space. We want to change the social milieu of agriculture. Can we have a Facebook for agriculture? Can we have an Orkut in place for agriculture? That is the direction in which we would like to go. And finally, Agropedia would serve as a forum to highlight issues of concern. So when I say Agropedia is a content repository, this is where I have all the knowledge that is coming in generated by state agricultural universities. Let me step back for a moment and tell you that our funding agents are, again, the National Agricultural Innovation Program, which is basically from the World Bank. And Agropedia is part of a larger project where ICRISAT is the investigator, is the project investigator, and our partners include IT partners like IIT Bombay and IIIT Kerala. We also have NARM in our project, and our two agricultural partners are GB Pant University and University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. So that's the team we are working with, and it's important to note then that this content repository will refer to information which comes from the specialists and from the government. So what we call certified content, or content which is already reviewed by the experts before it is put on. So that's what represents our content repository. And then we have something which makes it easy for us to search the content, to navigate the content, to collate the content, to publish the relevant content only, and so on. And for this, we have developed what we call knowledge models. And through the knowledge models, the computer or the application understands the domain. I have said here that Agropedia enables search both syntactic and semantic in nature. So, do I need to explain this? So maybe I should. See, you know, if I Google rice, if I just Google the word rice, then what I would normally get is some hits for Condoleezza Rice, some hits for the Rice University, and a few hits for rice, which is agriculture. Perhaps right at the end, after I have gone through some 4 pages, right? Now, a semantic web application means that when I Google or when I search rice in Agropedia, Agropedia knows I'm not talking about Rice University or about Condoleezza Rice, I am talking about the crop rice. Similarly, if I am looking at a mango variety called the cherry, and I am looking at pests which could affect the cherry, I might put in the keywords as pest and the cherry. Agropedia, because it's a semantic search, will return to me documents which contain the cherry and pests for sure, but in addition documents which contain insects affecting mango which have no reference to the cherry or pest in it. So that's the advantage of a semantic search. You get a far more accurate search, and that's why we say that we take care of the information overloads. More importantly, having a semantic web application means that at present our our knowledge models can be used to inference material, which means that an additional DSS layer could easily be built on top of this, which would make Agropedia a more functional application, if you will. I will demonstrate to you how Agropedia can be used certainly for teaching and training in a minute. As I said, it's a social engineering space. It's a space within which we want to create communities. We want to harness information on aquaculture in the Northeast along with information on aquaculture in Kerala and bring it together. In order to do this, we want people from various parts to interact with each other, forming virtual communities. In order to do this, then, we have the agro blogs. We all understand blogs, so this is specific blogs for agriculture, the Agro Wiki, a forum for question answers, as well as chat rooms to interact with people. In addition, of course, it's important whenever you have a platform to be able to talk about issues which are of immediate interest. So if one goes back and looks at www.agropedia.net, you would see that many of the current blog and wiki articles are related to the drought conditions or are related to what to do under drought conditions, things we've been talking of. So that's what Agropedia is about. Let me quickly reiterate that it's very different from what we have talked about in all the sessions so far. Agropedia is not a service. Agropedia is a platform. And we believe that the success of Agropedia would be when all other users, it's an open platform, build services on Agropedia. And it is enabled correctly from the technology point of view so as to make other services. We, being a technology institute, cannot provide services. It is for the user to design his or her service and build the right modules for it. So that's another important thing I'd like to say about Agropedia. So, I said that it's a very effective teaching tool. With this slide alone, I can tell you all about Agropedia. I said it's a collaboration and social networking space which is bridging the gap between a community of experts and a community of users. So the question about who does Agropedia target? Well, we have traders, farmers, students, markets there, and the experts who are agri-scientists as well as extension workers right here. They have two types of content which is represented in Agropedia. You have the Gyan Dhara or explicit knowledge, and you have the Jan Dhara or the tacit knowledge, all in here. So you can see that this excerpt, if you will, of a knowledge model or of a CMAP, which is what it actually is, a concept map of agriculture, can very easily be used as a very potent pedagogical tool. So that students can see both the tree and go back to the forest to know exactly where the tree fits into the big forest. A typical knowledge model in the case of a crop. So here, of course, I'm not sure we can read much, but I tried to enlarge this part, and you could see that the crop has production practices, production technology or protection technology as well. Protection technology makes use of weeds and weed management, insect management, disease management, etc., etc. So you have everything. So this is a nice visualization of the relationship between various terms. And once this relationship is in place, it's much easier to index content, to make or to manage your content much better. So that's the purpose of these knowledge models. Again, these knowledge models were developed in conjunction with our partners, and our agri partners played a very big role in developing these models. So this is not this is not a technology solution. So, in the previous session, we had somebody talk about, teach technology, everybody should be a computer scientist. But I'm a social scientist and I don't understand computers. And Agropedia is for me. So we believe in keeping the technology at the back. We believe in keeping the technology as the black box, but anybody and everybody should be able to access Agropedia and use it. So, quick overview of the Agropedia architecture. You have the user right on top, and the user interfaces consist of keyword searches or entering the blogs and wikis and so on. Anything that is entered or searched has meta tags, which are derived from the knowledge models themselves. And the kind of information that can be available ranges from typical documents to web pages to audiovisual content, the works. Essentially, that's the beauty of Agropedia. It is actually like a multipedia. You can use it for anything. And the other really nice thing about Agropedia is that while this is focused on the agriculture domain, The architecture is generic enough that the similar thing can be applied to any domain across the world. So we can actually develop a knowledge model in economics, if you will, and start using various aspects to manage content within the economic domain. So that can be done fairly easily within this, using this similar kind of architecture. So what we've done in the project so far, we've built and validated a generic crop model as well as developed 9 other crop models. We've built a content management system and a tagging system, which is obviously equally important. Built the search modules. We are adding and continue to add content. We have designed the social networking space for creating and refining user-generated content. Again, something that is continuously being improved. So we have a beta version of Agropedia available on the net at www.agropedia.net. We've been very lucky to get a lot of attention from both the national and the international press for Agropedia. We are very proud. In fact, the number, this was 949 yesterday. I checked this morning, we're at 951 already. So we have 951 registered Agropedia users in 8 months. And this is something I'm very proud to say, because Agropedia was officially launched. That's the knowledge model part of it. The social networking space has officially not really been launched yet. But just the first part of Agropedia was launched in January, and we are already at almost 1,000 users. Compare this with a very similar model or very similar application called Medpedia in the medical domain, which already has a very clear vocabulary available to work with. Medpedia has not come to 1,000 users yet. Medpedia was launched in February. So we are very proud to say that we have several users, interest from various countries. As you can see, 120 countries out there. And several hits, 270 visits per day on an average. And I'm talking over the last 9 months. What next? We can rest on our laurels. We can say it's the world's first agricultural knowledge repository built using semantic, collaborative, and social networking metaphors. But we know that's not enough. We know we have more to do. Because for Agropedia to succeed as a sustainable initiative, we need people to use it. No site will be worthwhile unless people use the system. We need content, and yet more content. We need people to look at the content, refine it, correct it, and go on. We need people to build applications and services on Agropedia. We need to build many communities and social networks around agriculture, both internationally and domestically, to keep agriculture going. We need you to sustain Agropedia. www.agropedia.net. Platform is yours. Please use it. Thank you.